I'm ready when you are.
I'm ready. Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, going to give all glory and praises to
Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the apostle and elders, great millstone. Alright, just finna get into this quick lesson. Alright, Jeremiah 46 and 27. Alright, because these are the times that we're in, that Yahweh Shai, alright, is about to deliver us from captivity. You know, this is our last captivity, you know. But this Jeremiah 46 and 27. But fear not thou, O my servant Jacob, and be not dismayed, O Israel, for behold, I will save thee from afar off, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and be at rest at ease, and none shall make him afraid. Alright. So yeah, that's Yahweh Shai giving us a comfort message. Alright, letting us know, letting his elect know, first and foremost, that guess what? He's gonna deliver us from captivity. You know? If y'all wanna ask something, y'all go ahead.
Hey, man, yeah, like the brother was going into, man, the Lord is about to deliver his people, man. And like, man, we in these times, man. Alright, and it ain't finna get no easier. Alright, but you know, the Lord is gonna have his elect, his hopeful elect, or his elect are gonna have the faith, alright, to believe. So if you're wavering or you're getting weak, alright, you need to, you know, check your spirit and make sure that the Lord is actually even dealing with you. Because these are the times where your faith should be boosted. Alright, as you see these prophecies unfold, your faith should be being elevated to the next level. Alright? Let's get the scripture. I will not leave thee nor forsake thee. Bible shop. That's real quick.
It's a lot of it.
I think it's the one in, let me see. I will never leave thee. Let's read them, bro. Just read one, bro.
Okay. This one, Hebrews 13 and 5, let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have, for he has said, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee.
And that can go a lot of ways, man. The Lord said he will never. It don't mean even in your times of trouble, man. Alright, the scripture said he will never leave thee nor forsake thee. So if you got your Yahweh Shai on your side, you shouldn't have to be worried about it. That's why he said, you know, he that doubted is damned. Alright, because if you doubting, that's letting you don't really believe in the Lord. Alright, so you really have to work on all these things, these doubt, alright, these spirits that are trying to plague you. Alright, you can't just succumb to them, man. Alright, you can't just succumb to them. Alright, go ahead, bro.
That was it on that.
That's it on that?
Yeah.
Alright. You got anything to add, you remember?
Yeah, man, because Yahweh Shai, you know, he's not gonna leave his servants, you know, empty-handed. You know, because if you're doing the will of Yahweh Shai on the right hand side, or the Lord sees that. You know, the Lord is gonna always, you know, remember your righteous works, man. And you know, and that's why, you know, these demons plague us, you know, in our minds, man. Because, you know, spiritual demons saying in the demons, you know, their job is to what? To try to sift you out the faith. You know, so they're gonna throw all types of, you know, mental trials, or you know, you're gonna go through all types of trials and tribulations, because the Lord is just is testing your faith.
It's a rock 2-in-1.
You know, and it's a constant. Or as a matter of fact, the scripture in Sirach is going to say.
Okay.
Sirach 2-in-1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Mm-hmm. Yep, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. You know, you have to have it in your mind, or you have to, you know, have it in the forefront of your mind that if you're going to serve Yahweh Shai, start doing, you know, the righteous works of Yahweh Shai. You know, can you read it again?
Sirach 2-in-1.
Mm-hmm.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare thy soul. You got to prepare your spirit. What to you know, endure, you know, afflictions.
Yep.
You know, being tempted. Hey, you know, demons will try to tempt you to even go off. You know, to you know, have you commit, you know, certain sins. You know, and you know, demons they'll try to make you doubt. You know, the scripture that says, you know, for whatsoever is not of faith is sin. You know.
Yeah.
You know, so these are all things that, you know, we have to, you know, you have to have in the forefront of your mind, is that you're always gonna, you know, challenges and trials are always gonna be thrown out you in this faith, man. Okay. Keep going.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
Right. You have to set your heart. You have to set your mind. You have to set your mind. Our beloved Elder Naba, you know, his page is what? Get your mind right. You know, and how do you do that? You have to constantly, you know, supplement yourself with the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, which are contained in the Holy Scriptures, man. You know,
These words are they built to comfort you. All right, these words that the Lord speaks is not. That's what comforts us in these times of trouble. When you going through things and the Lord said you was going to go through these things or you know you're going to lose. All right, the scriptures already told us what was about to happen. All right, when you come to serve Him, so we should be prepared. All right, we should be prepared for these things when they happen to us, man. Whether it's Satan fucking with us, whether our wife, our children. All right, loss comes a lot in this truth. Loss of family members, loss of loved ones, man. All right, it comes with this thing, man. So the Lord has told us of these things, and if we really live in the scriptures, all right, we should be preparing ourselves for these things. That's why you just read, when you come to serve the Lord, all right, prepare thyself for temptation, man. So you got to prepare yourself, all right, because you know things are about to get rough when you get to this, when you really start serving Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. All right. Got anything else?
It says, and make not haste in the time of trouble.
Yeah, it said what? Make not haste in the time of trouble. Okay, because when you're making haste, you know, you're not really thinking spiritually.
Yep.
You know, you'll end up making a decision. You know, you'll end up making an emotional decision. You know, and you know, making certain emotional decisions will end up backfiring on you. You know, and then you'll start to suffer even more. You know, and that's why, you know. Can you read that scripture again, Bible Shop? That same scripture.
Sirach 2 and verse 2. Set thy heart aright and make not, and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble.
Yeah, make not haste in the time of trouble, because you have to constantly be you have to constantly endure. You know, to endure means to what? When you go to the word endure, it means to what? To make hard. You know. Hey, just like how they say in the world, how Jake say in the world, trust the process. Well, you have to trust the process that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is putting you through via these trials and tribulations, man. You know, because it's not gonna feel good. Of course, it don't feel good when you catching it. You know, when it feels like you catching hell on all sides, man. All right. But what Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is doing, he's doing these things, you know, to test your character, to test your spirit. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai wants to see what you're gonna do when he puts you in certain situations. You know, and the best way to respond, you know, when you're being put in a challenging situation, is to always examine it spiritually. You know, through the scriptures. You know,
just
pray.
just denying yourself, man.
Mm-hmm.
having the discipline to say no. All right, and acting, not act on the impulse. That's what that haste. You know, when you're making haste, you're really acting on the impulse. All right, you ain't seek counsel. All right, you ain't put no thought into it. You just did it. All right. So when you act on the impulse, you're not acting out of the wisdom of the scriptures, man. You know. So when you make that, what they say, make not haste. All right, just don't act on the impulse. Pray, fast. You know, get counsel about certain situations, man. All right.
Go ahead, bro.
It says, "Cleave unto him." Verse 3: "Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end."
Yup, because hey, when you know, go through certain afflictions, all right, and you conquer certain demons, you know, through the spirit of the Lord is actually going to increase your spirit. You know, you're going to have a stronger spirit. You know, you're gonna, you know, experience the Lord removing spiritual impurities within you. You know, in order for you to be made better in His image, and that's the goal, man. All right, the goal is to be made in Yahweh Shai's image, man. You know. That's why you gotta cherish. A lot of times, you know, a lot of times we may get stuck in our heads, man. All right, and we forget to what's the word I'm looking for? You know, cherish the hell, you know, that we go through. You know, and there's a saying in the world where it says, if you're going through hell, keep going. All right, keep going, because at the end of the day, there's light at the end of the tunnel. You know, and it may seem like you could be catching hell just one thing after another. Hey, you know, hey, you got to consider this. Maybe this is the Yahweh Shai trying to test your patience. You know, because that's one thing, you know, you don't want to lose in this faith is you don't want to lose your patience, man. You know, you want to, you know, you want to be spiritually rooted. You know, because, you know, the ones that lose their patience, it just invites demons. You know, and it'll invite so many demons, just demon after demon. You know, they'll start having a party in your head. All right, and you end up, you know, performing even worse, man. You know? You have something?
Yeah. Hebrews 12 and verse 11, or I'll start at 6. For whom the Lord loveth, He chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom He receiveth. If ye endure chastening, Yahweh Shai dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chastiseth not?
Right. Hey, that's because Yahweh Shai holds us acting to a higher standard. You know, if we're out here calling on the names of Yahweh Shai, you know, we have to be able to back up what we believe in through action. You know, we have to be able to, you know, show our belief, you know, through our works. And when Yahweh Shai, you know, sees something that he doesn't like, you know, he'll chasten. All right, just like how a father, you know, would chasten, you know, his favorite son. You know, it's not because the father has hatred towards his son, but the father's trying to sharpen him to be made better. All right, and you know, that's how Yahweh Shai treats, you know, us Akim in the faith. You know, the Lord is putting that that whooping stick, you know, for lack of better terms, you know, honest, man.
Yeah.
You know, hey, just like how we got whoopings when we was young, you know, hey, it's the same in the spirit, man. You know, if you're giving something more attention, you know, if you're putting something over Yahweh Shem Shai, you know, the Lord can take whatever that is away from you to get your attention, man. But does that mean Yahweh Shem Shai wants to destroy you? No. He's getting your attention to address a certain thing in your waking life to fix, man. You know, so that he can bless you. You know.
Verse 11. Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
You're right. Yeah, because, you know, going through chastisement, you know, of course it's not going to feel good. You know, it's you know, it's not going to feel good at the moment. But the idea is what? What did it say? What was that latter part of that scripture?
It says, nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
Right. Yep. Hey, because the Lord is what, you know, removing what? Those spiritual impurities, man. You know?
That was it on that. Here, Sirach 2 and verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Yep, so be patient when thou art changed to a low estate, man. All right, you know, you gotta take things cheerfully, man, because, you know, things could be worse. You know, that's why it's important to be, you know, to be grateful, you know, for the things that you have now. You know what I'm saying? There's a saying in the world, it's like, what does it say? Count your blessings. You know?
Hey, just like he just read the last scripture, man. It say he's dealing with you as a child. That's why you ought to take this cheerfully, man. Because the Lord, when he get on one with you, man, he's dealing with you as a family member. All right? And that's the part that you got to be happy about. All right? Because he could have just left you in that state of mind that you're in with no rebuke, no chastisement. All right? He just let you be wild out here like the rest of these 2/3. But the Lord, he'll draw you back in. If you're part of this elect, all right, when you're going off, the Lord, he'll draw you back in. Like, nah. So he'll put stuff in your face, all right, that you have to, you know, chill. Whether it be your car breaking down or whether it be your girl acting up, he gonna get his attention. So you're gonna be like, man, Lord, this motherfucker tripping or whatever. Hey, now you start to draw back in. Then you start to look at yourself as well. When things start happening, man, you start looking at yourself, making and examining. All right, so all these things are necessary, all right, to keep us on this straight and narrow. That's why these punishments, all right, that we get, all right, are needed, because that's what draws us back in. That's what's make us pray more, fast more. All right, when things get to happening, we get to like, oh man, you know, and looking at yourself, Mom, I ain't do my videos or whatever. I ain't fasting. I ain't praying, man. I could have did this better. I could have did that better. You know?
Sirach 2 and 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him.
Yep. And hey, man, you know, hey, that's the key right there. But believe, man. You gotta have faith. You gotta have faith in Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, you gotta have faith in Yahweh Shem Shai that he's able to pull you through, you know, any in every affliction that he puts you through. You know, can you grab 1 Corinthians 10 verse 13, Bible show, and then can you read that scripture again over again, Bible show?
Sirach 2 and verse 5, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way right, and trust in him.
Right, and the men in Yahweh Shem Yahshua are as gold, man, being tried in the fire, man. All right, you know, going through what, you know, these trials and tribulations, man. You know, to refine you, to make you into to make you precious before Yahweh Shem Yahshua. You know, to be made more acceptable unto him. You know.
1 Corinthians 10 and 13, there hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to men. But Yahweh Shem Yahshua is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
Right. So Yahweh Shem Yahshua, he knows your spirit because he created your spirit. You know, so he knows what you can endure, what you can go through. All right. But it's up to you to cleave unto him. You know, it's up to you to go towards Yahweh Shem Yahshua through reading, praying, fasting, you know, to get you through those afflictions. You know, to get you through those trials and tribulations, because if you're going through it, the Lord knows you can get through it.
Yeah, He's not setting you up to fail. Like, the Lord ain't setting you up to fail. All this is for your growth. All of it. All this is for you to help you grow. All right, to see where you're erring at in life. All right, through the Spirit. So He'll put things in your face and present, all right, Himself unto you. All right, to show you, like, hey, look, you doing this and doing that, because He's going to bring out what you're weak in. So you got to really pay attention, all right, to yourself. You know, you got to acknowledge those demons that you have, all right, and try to get rid of them. All right, because a lot of people don't take the time out to get to know. They should know what they're weak in. So when those trials come, man, you should be able to try to help yourself get out of it. All right, and a lot of people just don't acknowledge those demons that they have. So the Lord keep putting it back in your face. All right, every time. All right, to what? To help you build yourself up, so you can be able to defeat those demons that you're fighting. All right.
It says, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape.
Just like I said, he's not setting you up to fail. All right, He's going to deliver you out of all these problems and issues that you're facing. If you're a true man of the Lord, He'll deliver you out of all of them. All right, He's just not going to leave you out there and fail. It might look like He is, and it may look like you got to figure some shit out on your own, but guess what? He's always there. All right, He's not going to let you fail, and He's not going to just leave you out there high and dry. You know?
It says that ye may be able to bear it.
All right, so you'll be able to get through it. So everything that's presented unto you, all right, the Lord has put it in your face, all right, to help bring value, all right, to your spirituality, man. The Lord's trying to build you up spiritually. That's why these things seem, you keep battling and fighting. All right, and if you keep going through the same thing all the time, that means you're failing. So the Lord keep on bringing it back unto you. All right, so you can figure it out. Try to get better at it fast, and try to get past this point, man. All right, what y'all got? Y'all got anything else?
I ain't got nothing.
All right, man. So hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. We just did a little quick hit. All right, impromptu on the way to the house. We leaving, from out there in Chicagoland area, fellowship with the brothers. All right, we just did a little impromptu, man. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, and we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Chakadash. All right, Shalom.
Shalom.